Answers coming up at 5 p.m. It's that time again.
Something told me to turn on the radio.
It's showtime!
This is great. It's a nice break. This guy, Todd.
Monday through Friday.
Getting restless?
5 to 7.
All right, I'm listening.
Let's start the show.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
What do you think of all that snow?
I like to match snow. It gives me a tremendous sense of satisfaction.
At high altitudes, it's going to crystallize and give us what we call snow.
Snow.
That's the snow.
Probably be some accumulation.
Go play in the snow.
You plow snow.
Shoveling snow, huh?
Going to snow tonight for sure.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, typically 5 to 7, but today an hour early as we celebrate or observe or commemorate, I don't know, the first snow day of 2025. And really, I think it's really kind of like the first snow day of the winter, right? I mean, were there snow days prior to Christmas? I don't think so. I mean, we had a little bit of snow, but not a lot. Not like what you saw this morning when you walked out the front door. Like my wife taking out the dogs and then the dogs running back in because they're like, no. And then 10 minutes later, finding a mountain of poop on the floor next to my chair. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And we have Lily to thank for that. So yeah, we got a ton of snow. I don't think I'm trying to figure out. Hey, Ron, can I bring you? Are you available? You there? Yeah. He's trying to figure out something. Maybe. Is he on? What's he doing? Oh, he's not there. Okay. All right. Well, Parker, you hop on. I heard a harrowing tale from you. Well, about you. That you had to, you called off originally, right? You were going to call off because you were stuck in your apartment complex.
Well, I have a small car, right, that doesn't do well in the snow, and I wasn't going to make it out to the road, and I could see the road from my window.
Right,
it was clear.
Yeah.
But
you just couldn't get from point A to point B to get to
exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
And I figured, you know what? We'll give it a shot, see if I can at least make it out to the road.
Yeah.
And I did. I called Hippie here and said, I'm coming in.
All right. Well, congratulations. I mean, that's great that you made the effort. I didn't have any problem. This is the first winter in quite a while that I've been driving an SUV. I got an SUV last year, and this was for this very reason, this kind of thing, because of a few winters in the past when we've had big storms, I've ended up getting a room at the Dayton Marriott because it's right there. And I can just get up and crawl out of bed and walk across the parking lot. And I'm here because my little Kia that I was driving, that's not a good car for the snow. But it worked out because I was banned from the Marriott. You might remember the last time I was there, I talked about this on the show. The night that I checked in, I went and met some friends from the station there in the bar, and I broke one of the chairs. So I haven't really been banned, but it's a little embarrassing. So I thought I would open up the calls to all the Edgeheads out there, wherever you might be. How much snow did you get? Are you playing in the snow? Are there kids coming to your door asking for money to shovel your driveway? I don't know that happens like it used to. I mean, when I was growing up, and I know I sound like the old guy, when I was a kid, but seriously, when it snowed like this, we were like, oh boy, we can make some money, right? And 2 or 3 of us would walk around the neighborhood, and we'd get maybe like $10 each or something like that, $5. That was a pretty good deal. But I don't know that the kids are willing to do that anymore. I had some kids come to my door a year or 2 ago, and it was pretty sly because this little kid comes up to the door, and I'm guessing he's probably 7 or 8, and and I think the shovel was as tall as him or maybe taller, And this kid's like, yeah, well, can I shovel your driveway? And I said, sure. Well, how much? And he said, well, $20. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, if you can do it, go for it. A little bit later, I look out. It's like him and 3 other guys. And I think they just sent him to the door to take, get the pity because he looked so small and scrawny. But then, the older kids come in and they start shoveling. But it's pretty clever ruse. But I just don't know that is happening anymore. If kids are really willing to go out and, or actually it might be the parents. The parents might be more concerned. Like, why don't you going out there knocking on strangers' doors? And it's so cold, right? I think that's what it is. Is Ron available? Is he available now? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm here.
So I don't know if you've checked in at home. Do you know if any kids were coming around your neighborhood asking to shovel?
No, I have no idea. But I did just get a text from my wife that my son is off school again tomorrow.
Oh, well, have him go out and shovel. I mean, that's what I did with my wife. Whoa. Yeah, they closed her office today. And she said, well, before you go, we need to go out and shovel because, the weight of your car is going to compound that snow into the ground. And then it's going to be hard to shovel. I said, I ain't shoveling. Have you seen me?
Oh, I did have a question for you.
I'm like a couple of shovels away from a heart attack. So no, I'm not doing that.
I did have a question for you when you talked about your wife letting the dogs out this morning. Is there anything you do at your house?
Sure.
It seems like your wife is doing everything.
Yes, I supervise.
You have to have a leader.
Well, that's, what? Yesterday when she was putting away the Christmas decorations, I supervised. Yeah.
That's very good of you.
Well, look, like you said, we need strong leaders.
Besides, if she's out there shoveling the snow and she falls, who's gonna call the cops to come get her? If nobody's out there watching her.
Oh boy, that's a good
Think
question.
about that.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I came into work. I was here early this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there you go.
If people want to give us reports, what the weather is like at their place. How much snow you got? I've got the totals. It looks like the winning community was actually a tie. According to WHIO.com, College Corner in Butler County and Middletown, back up. College Corner in Butler County and Springboro and Warren County each got 9.5 inches. And that's the most I've seen on WHIO.com. Parker, you have a comment?
I measured 10 outside my door.
Now, you weren't measuring a snowdrift, were you? Because sometimes people, they get caught in that, and it's like, well, that's not accurate.
Could be.
Yeah. So 10 inches at your place.
I measured 10, yes.
Ron, did you go out and measure it all this morning?
Not at all.
No?
I looked down and saw my ankle was in the snow, and I thought, that's a lot.
When Mary went outside to take the dog, she took an envelope and she stuck the envelope in the snow, and that's how she used to measure it. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we have tape measures all over the house, and probably like many of you, when you need it, you can't find it. So we started putting one in each room, and we still can't find them. So she took an envelope, which I think she said was 9 inches long, and stuck it in there, and she kind of gauged it from that. So I don't know exactly how much we had, though. I did wake up last night around 2:30 in the morning, and I think that was the time when it was supposed to be really windy and really snowy, right? There was that period between, I think, 2 and 5 or 6 or something that I saw on WHIO.com. Our meteorologists were talking about that was going to be the time when we were going to get the bulk of the snow. And at 2:30 in the morning, it really wasn't it wasn't very windy. It didn't look too bad, so maybe this kind of petered out, at least locally. I know it's still a lot, and all the schools are closed and a lot of businesses are closed. I mean, there wasn't a lot of traffic on the roads this morning, with the exception, I did see this a lot, and I hope none of the Edgeheads fall into this category. I saw a lot of HVAC vehicles driving around, making their calls, and all I can think of is, oh man, they've lost their heat, and what are we looking at here in the next few days? I'll tell you what we're looking at in the next few days.
The temperatures are low.
Yeah.
Why are they so very
Well,
low?
there's a good reason.
It is a polar vortex.
Yeah, it's going to be a polar vortex the next few days. And Ron, did you see what the temperatures are supposed to be? I mean, we're talking like
Thursday said is the worst, like 7 in the morning. Oh, it's going to be a +7 though. So,
it's
yes,
it's 7 on the positive side.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's not so bad, is it? No, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And
I've always thought that once it gets to like 20 degrees, anything below that, it's all kind of the same, though, isn't it? It's all just painful and cold.
Yeah, 100%. And speaking of cold, I'm going to get to this story, and I don't know that I'm going to do it now, but you talked about it. The story of somebody in a train car. This happened like a day or so ago.
Yes. I'll have to go back and look at that. Jason had that story for me earlier.
It was somebody. By the way, I'm also planning a coughing fit later in the show. But I saw that story about somebody in a train car. And immediately what came to mind was Polar Express. Remember the Polar Express? There was the guy, is it okay to say hobos? Can we call them hobos? I'm not
sure. I mean, hey.
But there was a hobo on the train, right? And he was riding on the top of the train in Polar Express. And I thought, is that what this guy was doing? I didn't know that they did that anymore. But we're going to talk about that. Also, we have some dumb ways to die. And by the way, this is this dumb ways to die. This happened over the break. Did you see the story about the guys who died searching for Sasquatch?
I did hear that actually.
Yeah.
2 guys, right?
Two guys.
Yeah.
I don't know that they were really searching for Sasquatch. I think they were probably out in the woods alone together by themselves, but were they really searching for Sasquatch?
They didn't get lost. They were searching for Sasquatch.
They were searching for something.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I think they were searching for love. Hey, everybody. Happy New Year. That's my uncle. Josh, who were you hanging out with? Who was that? Mary was using a shovel and a leaf blower. That's what my thinking is, Leslie. Thank you, Trash Can Joe. I am doing well. Speaking of trash cans, we have the trash can ready to go. Oh, that's an omen. That is an omen. The first paper wad toss of the year is a big fat goose egg. Ugh. Can you guys hear me? Can anyone hear me? Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is this microphone working? Okay. Just checking. Thank you, Cynthia. Yes, Leslie, you get me for 3 hours. I'm here till 7. I hear you, Heather. I hear you. It's okay.
On that at 4:30 now, back to a special edition of the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
I'm just trying to make a living.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7, but today, 4 to 7, is a special snow day edition of the Evening Edge. And the phone lines are open, 937-457-1290. If you'd like to give a weather report from your house, from your living room, from your bedroom, from your family room, your garage, out your kitchen window, wherever, how much snow did you get? Did you make the effort to go out and shovel? Last night, my wife and I went out and did some running after it had started snowing, but it wasn't that bad. And we were seeing people outside already shoveling. And my first thought was sort of like, what are you doing, man? It snowed maybe an inch and you're out shoveling. You're shoveling the sidewalk. You're shoveling your driveway. You're shoveling your front porch. It's going to keep snowing. It's going to keep snowing. So I don't know how many times those folks in my neighborhood went out and shoveled, but I'd just wait until it's all done and then go shovel, unless you got a lot of free time. We have a pair of tickets to give away to Classic Albums Live. This is great. Friday, January 24th, Victoria Theater. They're going to be performing Led Zeppelin 4. So between now and 7 o'clock, I'm going to play, you'll get the intro. You'll know it's Zeppelin. It's rock and roll, right? You'll know it. And I'll tell you when to call. Just be the fifth caller at 937-457-1290. And you will win those tickets. Again, that show's January 24th. You can get tickets at DaytonLive.org. We got some mail.
Knock off the jaw jack and it's time for mail call.
Master, I have mail for you.
The fan man.
Oh, I'm a big fan of yours.
The mail is here.
Your hate mailbox is full.
If you'd like to send me an email, it's eveningedgetodd@gmail.com. Hey, Todd, as I write this, I'm watching my neighbor blow his snow into my yard. I got this earlier this morning. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I listen to your show a lot and reminded of your neighbor who got angry because your yard clippings blew into her yard. Is this the same? Bruce in Inglewood. Happy New Year. Well, thank you, Bruce. Happy New Year to you as well. I don't know that it's the same. It's just snow. Now, if you go out and you shovel your driveway, let's say, or you shovel your sidewalk in front of your house, if you have one, and then some neighbor comes along and starts blowing their snow or shoveling their snow, onto your driveway or wherever, well, then that's a problem, right? But if they're just blowing the snow into your yard, maybe your driveway is close to the property line or whatever, and they're blowing it off into your yard. Who cares? It's snow. Do people really get upset over that? I mean, it melts. It melts. So I don't know. I don't know that that's a big deal, but maybe it is. 937-457-1290. Are we still under a snow emergency? No, all the snow emergencies, most of the snow emergencies, I guess, have been lifted. That's what I understand. Well, thank goodness. Oh, Ron, can you tell me?
Okay. Let me just update you real quick here. Only Clinton County is in the winter storm warning category, but there are still snow emergencies that are in effect. And I know I had just updated the story a second ago. Here we go. So now Montgomery County and Logan County are level 1, which means just take it easy out there.
That's the yellow level. The yellow level. Yellow level.
Level 2 is where it gets a little bit more hairy, blowing and drifting snow. Don't go out if you don't have to.
That is the orange level. The orange level.
And that goes for Champaign, Clark, Dark, Green, Preble, Clinton, and Warren counties.
And then the next one, which we don't have right now, and we probably won't because things are going to get better.
Yeah.
It's the level 3 snow emergency, which is the red level. The red level. And I'm always curious about the red level because it says all employees should contact their employer to see if they should report to work. Those traveling on the roads may subject themselves to arrest. Isn't that a little odd? Like if you call your employer and they say, yeah, get your butt in here. Are the cops going to stop you because you're out on the road? I mean, what's the ruling for that?
They're not going to. There's not going to be too many police chases on the road when there's a level 3. I
don't doubt that. But isn't it odd though that you could be arrested for being out on the road? But what if your employee says, yeah, you got to get in here? Then what? Well, I'm sorry, but officer, I have to report to work because I have to go make the donuts. Right? I mean, what are they going to do? Arrest you? Has anybody been arrested for driving on the roads during a level 3 snow emergency?
I would put even money down that no one has.
Yeah. So why even put that? Why even make that a threat?
Yeah.
We're going to arrest
I
you.
do have some breaking news, though. Kettering City schools are closed for tomorrow as well.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm not surprised by that. I mean, and I saw a report earlier on Channel 7, and they were talking about the fact that a lot of the main roads, they've been able to clear, but then there's the thousands and thousands and thousands of neighborhood roads where the school buses travel, and those are not clear yet. So, and they probably won't be for a while. But anyway, there you go. So now you know your snow emergency levels.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Oh. Heather, did you check to make sure it's still on time? Because there's a bunch of locations where they're delaying the trash pickup. Wow. Yeah, the Channel 7 did a story about this. There were a bunch of places that Rumpke, Greene County, Montgomery County, somewhere else, I can't remember. It's delayed. We're in Riverside and it's delayed an hour or a delay today. We have Republic too. That's what Riverside uses, and it's delayed a day. But it could, it could fluctuate from location to location. I got it, Nick. Thank you. I'm going to mention it.
This is a WHIO payroll payout alert.
Thank you, thank you.
$1,000 coming up at 5 p.m.
And now, with your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
Could this day get any more fantastic?
Let's get on with it.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, usually 5 to 7. Today, a special snow day edition going on an hour earlier. And I will be on until 7 o'clock. 937-457-1290. If you'd like to give us a snow report from your neighborhood, how much snow you got. I mentioned earlier that College Corner and Springboro, at least the list that I saw on WHIO.com, each got 9.5 inches. However, I got a picture from Edgehead Nick in Beaver Creek near the Bergamo Center, and he showed a ruler in the ground, 10 inches. 10 inches in Beaver Creek, my hometown. Yes. We have Taylor Robertson from News Center 7 on the line. Hey, Taylor, where are you?
Hey, Todd. I'm in Xenia right now, right by the downtown area. I'm actually right now, though, sitting in a parking lot at the YMCA that is just covered in a blanket of snow.
So how much snow do you think they got out there? I heard people say between 9 and 12 inches, parts of Xenia. What are you thinking? What's your take?
Yeah, just a few minutes ago, I actually reached out to weather specialist Nick Dunn to see what he was thinking, because I saw the National Weather Service reported that it was 7 inches. Nick Dunn told me 7 to 10 inches is the most recent update he has. And, I'm honestly really bad at judging like length, I guess. But I believe it. It is just everywhere. And if you can look on top of like the cars or like park benches and you see just how much snow has accumulated. It's more than what I've seen here in a while. And I've been here for 24 years. So I was a little surprised seeing just how much actually came down and really stuck.
Yeah, I noticed yesterday it wasn't like, in my view, it didn't seem like a real heavy snow. It was like it was light and it was very crystally looking. It wasn't like the big fat honking flakes. I don't know about you, but those are my favorite flakes.
Yeah, no, it was very powdery, almost like kind of slippery because it was so soft.
Yeah.
But it was just yesterday, it was coming down so consistently and the wind was blowing it where I thankfully had a snowsuit on, but you almost needed an umbrella because of the wind blowing the snow. I mean, it was pretty intense yesterday. And I think just the fact that it didn't let up really, it just kept coming down. It was a lot to wake up to if anybody woke up and wasn't outside yesterday.
Well, you mentioned Nick Dunn, weather specialist. Did you see the video of him earlier doing a snow angel?
Yes, and people were reaching out to me saying now they need to see me doing a snow angel, and I told them that unfortunately I accidentally did a snow angel when I was walking out of my apartment.
Oh no! Did you fall?
Snow angel. Oh yes, I did.
Oh no!
Yes. And what was even more just embarrassing for me was last night I interviewed a guy that was out for a jog in the snow and I can't even walk out of my apartment.
Well, he probably wasn't wearing heels.
Right.
Yeah. One other thing I noticed, I saw your report earlier. If I could just make a suggestion in weather like this, because I'm just going to say you're an attractive lady. I think you need some big furry earmuffs.
Yes.
Like Mike Campbell has.
Yes.
Mike Campbell can't be the only person on the staff to wear earmuffs.
And, our joke around the station is if we see Mike Campbell in earmuffs, we know it's cold outside.
Yeah. It's like Jim Cantori showing up in a city. If he shows up, get the hell out. Right? If can't, but
I'll get those earmuffs. and
But
I'll
to
put 'em
be
on just for you.
but to be fair, I've seen Mike Campbell wearing earmuffs in October.
Yeah.
So that's a little nuts, right? I mean, come on.
I agree.
All right, Taylor. Well, thank you so much for your report. And I'm on it till 7 tonight. So if you want to call back a bit later, by all means.
Awesome. We'll do. We're going to be on the highways about 6 o'clock. So
Oh,
I'll
that's
give you a call after
perfect.
that and kind of let you know what I see.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Todd.
Be safe out there. 937-457-1290. If you'd like to give us a call and comment on the snowfall. You would think that, and I don't mean this as an insult to Taylor, but if she's going to go out in the snow, she should have some sort of measuring stick, right? I mean, I understand she might not be a good judge of sizes and length, but if she's got, a yardstick or protractor or something, she could do that. I got this message from Edgehead Deborah. And I have to ask, is Ron available? I know I'm leaning a lot on my buddy Ron today, and sometimes he's got stuff to do, and I just annoy the heck out of him. Are you there, Ron?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, you asked me the question about what I do around the house, because what I was saying, like Mary was taking the dogs out, she was shoveling the driveway, she put away the vast majority of the Christmas decorations inside. You asked the question, what do you do around the house? And I just jokingly said, supervise. And then Deborah says, I had to laugh when she called you Larry, by the way, but it's Ron. Just asked you if there was anything you actually do at your house. I've wondered this too, so we need to hear what Todd's roles and jobs are in the household. Now,
that should be 5 seconds.
Let me ask you a question, Ron.
What's that?
Who does the dishes in your house?
Both of us.
Okay, I do all the dishes. Yeah. Now, it's only 2 of us, right?
Sure.
But Mary, I will say Mary does the cooking, and she cooks when I'm, coming home from the show, because I don't get home until later, because the show's on until 7.
Sure.
If I cook the dinner, we'd be eating at like 8:30 or 9.
Right.
So that's why, and that's kind of the trade-off. She hates doing the dishes. I do the dishes.
And you have a dishwasher.
Right. Well, that is true. But I load and unload. It's a rare moment when Mary does either of those things, because she loathes it.
Okay. Got it.
Who does the laundry in your house?
Both of us, actually.
Now, do you do your laundry? And
No.
your wife does her laundry?
No.
Now, see,
We all do it all.
that's the way it is in our house. If I don't have clean undies, I've got nobody to blame but myself.
Who does the bedding? Who does the towels?
We both do.
Well,
But I mostly take care of my towels.
Okay.
Because I have my own bathroom and she has her own bathroom. Yeah, it's just the 2 of us.
Are your towels monogrammed, by the way?
Oh, heavens, no.
Oh.
No.
I thought a big star like you would have had
No.
TH on his towels.
I did for a while. And then the Hilton cop showed up at my house and said, we want our towels back.
Crud.
Yeah.
Did you lose all the soaps too that you took out of the room?
No, I kept those.
Okay.
I kept those. Now, I did put away all the exterior Christmas decorations this year. All of them.
Good man.
I did
Good
that
man.
because the day that she put them up, it was like 25 degrees and it was freezing. And she was, I'm going to put these up, she said. I'm going to do it. So I'm like, all right, well, enjoy yourself. So she did. But I figured since she put them up, I took them all down. So that's what I did. I also do the vast majority of the vacuuming.
Oh,
yeah.
Good man.
Now we do have one of those robots that vacuums, but he always needs an extra. We call him Bob. He needs an extra. Like Bob vacuums and then I vacuum because he doesn't really do it the way that it needs to be done. Oh my gosh. Xavier Roberts is on Channel 7 right now, sledding down the hill at Hawthorne Hill in Oakwood.
How did he get that gig?
I know. That's a pretty good gig. Now, I was going to ask that question if anybody's outside playing in the snow or if it's just the 7 reporters.
Did you see the report that not only are all the metro parks closed, but all the sledding is closed?
They closed the sledding?
Yes. All the metro park sledding is closed, too. It's the first time we've gotten really good snow.
This
and
is
they closed the sledding.
This is like the best sledding snow in centuries.
Yes.
And they close it?
Yeah.
What a bunch of party poopers.
Leave it up to Xavier to find some good sledding, though.
Well, he's supposed to call the show, so maybe we'll talk to him in a bit, and he'll regale us with his sledding story. Right. 937-457-1290. John in Larry in South Charleston. Hey, Larry.
How you doing, Todd?
I'm doing well. Now, what's the weather like out there? How much snow did you get?
I live out in the boonies between the communities of South Charleston and Springfield. And I'll tell you what, I think we definitely got that 6 to 9 inches out here. And being a retired rural mail carrier, this is the first winter in 36 years that I haven't had to report to work, and I'm happy about that.
I would imagine. Now, let me ask you this: as a mail carrier, would you rather be outside delivering mail in 8-9 inches of snow, or 100-degree weather and 100% humidity?
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I'm one of these people that never really used air conditioning per se. I mean, my concept of air conditioning for years was fans in a window.
Yeah.
And then people asked me in my old postal vehicle, "Do you have air conditioning in that?" And I said, "Yeah, I got an open window and a fan in here." And those things got really, really hot. But I really preferred hot weather, quite frankly, because I was used to it. But cold weather, especially when you got all that other stuff going on, like getting traction and everything.
Yeah,
I can see those old postal vehicles, we call them LLVs, were never they don't have enough weight to keep on the road. I mean, you can make tight turns, but I'll tell you what, it can be really treacherous in the wintertime when you're talking about deep snow on the side of the road and so forth.
I can imagine. Well, thank you for the report, Larry. I appreciate it up there in South Charleston. 937-457-1290. If you want to give us a report, give us a call. Don't forget, we have those tickets to give away for Led Zeppelin 4 Classic Albums Live at Victoria Theater, January 24th. I'll tell you when to call, but when I do, just be the 5th caller.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
$1,000 coming up at 5 p.m.
Josh, I went on earlier because of the snow, just to kind of talk about the snow more. I mean, we kind of thought that there'd be a lot of crazy traffic during afternoon drive, but candidly, I'm sitting here in the studio looking out the window, and I'm not seeing much traffic. I think a lot of people just stayed home today. Mary's office was closed. They actually haven't had heat for the last 3 or 4 days. I think last week after she, during the New Year's Day holiday, they went into work on Thursday and they didn't have any heat. Wasn't so bad last Thursday, but I guess her boss went in today and it's still out and it's really cold.
And 95.7 WHIO.
At best, you're an underachiever at a local radio station.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday. Normally 5 to 7. Today, a little bit earlier, 4 o'clock. We started. It's a special snow day edition. If you'd like to go see Classic Albums Live down at Victoria Theater Friday, January 24th, they're going to be doing, this band, Led Zeppelin 4. Let's be the fifth caller right now at 937-457-1290. And you'll talk to Parker. We'll hook you up with a pair of tickets to go see Classic Albums Live at Victoria Theater January 24th. You can get more details at DaytonLive.org. I can't sing that high. Let's talk to Wayne in Franklin. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Todd. Great show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Almost 7 inches of snow here.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Almost. But me and my girlfriend went sled riding.
Wait, you went sledding?
Yes.
Now, can I ask you how old you are, Wayne?
I'm in my mid-50s.
Oh, wow. Well, that's quite the feat.
Yeah. And we went up to the mound.
Yeah.
And God, that place is so great.
So were there a lot of other people out there sledding?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
There was probably about 30, maybe.
That's good. Now, what kind of sled did you use? Do you have a sled? Did you go buy a sled? Did you make something out of cardboard or a trash can lid or what?
Inner tube.
Oh, an inner tube. Those are the best.
Yeah, but I can tell you, back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Me and my buddies, we had a queen size air mattress we could sled on.
You went sledding on a mattress.
Yeah.
Well, was it an air? Did you say it was an air mattress?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I was thinking of actual mattress. I'm like, how'd they get that down the hill? But that makes sense. That's a good idea. Sure. The whole family could get on there.
Yeah, you could get 4 or 5 people on there and you'd hit a dip and all you'd see is bodies flying.
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing to hang on to.
But that's the best part of it, right?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't do it at my age now.
No. You'll end up in the ER and on your back for the next 6 months or something, you know?
Yep. Well, hey, Todd, great show as always.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Wayne. Have a great one. 937-457-1290. If you want to give us a sledding report, hit us up.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Broadcasting live from the McAfee.
I don't know if they do, Patrick. I think they do. I think maybe a year or two ago, last time we had a big snowstorm, we talked about that. But I'll ask that on the show. Oh no, Nick, that's a crazy story. Woo! Now, Josh, I have to bring this up on the show. Does a 6-month-old really do this? Hey, Dennis. Happy New Year, everybody. If you're just tuning in, I actually started the show today at 4 because of the weather.
IO payroll payout alert.
Thank you, thank you.
$1,000 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
All right, it's time.
Can we get the show on the road?
I've been waiting for it all day.
And not a moment too soon.
Listen to talk radio.
This guy, Todd.
Monday through Friday.
5 to 7.
He's weird. Best thing on the radio.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I'm talking big time, grade A quality snow.
You should say we might see some snow.
It's the first snow.
Snowplows left some snow across the street.
That's a lot of snow.
Eating snow takes more energy than it gives you.
All you can see is snow.
By the way, don't eat the yellow snow.
Words to live by. Don't eat the yellow snow. It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Happy New Year. Glad to be back. We actually went on an hour earlier today because of all the snow coverage. Snow coverage you can count on. But we're here until 7 o'clock. And I've been talking to some Edgeheads about the weather and the snow totals in their neighborhood, on their patio, on their deck. 937-457-1290. Also, we just talked to a 55, or he said mid-50s, so I'm just going to say 55, because that's my age, who went sledding with his girlfriend. That's pretty brave. That is brave, because I'm in no shape to, well, look, let me back up. I could certainly roll down a hill, but I don't know that sledding is something that I should be doing at my age and in my shape, right? But I give kudos to him for trying that. And somebody asked if they still have sledding at Suicide Hill in the Kettering Oakwood area. Over there is in Hills and Dales. I don't know if they do. I remember years ago when I was working at Channel 7 going over there on a big snowy day like today and filming kids and adults going down that hill. But I don't know that they do that anymore over there. Because if I recall, there's a couple of areas it's pretty treacherous. But I did see Xavier Roberts, who I'm hoping will call the show sometime before 7 tonight. He said he would. He promised. If not, I know where his desk is. And I'll get my revenge. But he was sledding over at Hawthorne Hill in Oakwood, the Wright brothers' front yard. So, and there were a bunch of kids out there doing that. So I don't know if they still sled over there. 937-457-1290. Also coming up, we're going to get to the winner of the person who corrected the correct number of cars crashing into buildings in 2024. I'm going to make that announcement here shortly. John in North Dayton. Hey, John.
Hey, Todd. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. Well, I was up at DMAX all night, spotting trailers, moving equipment around, trying to get out of the way of the guys who use 10-foot snow boxes to push the snow around there.
Yeah.
So I'm quite certain DMAX spends more than $20 to get their lot cleared.
Probably so. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, it basically it snowed all night. Now the size of the flakes varied considerably. Because from 1 to 1:30 in the morning, they were huge.
Ooh.
And every time I went inside for a little bit and came out, I had to clear the windshield on the truck again.
Oh, wow.
Much all night long.
Okay.
But nice thing was it wasn't very cold. So it was easy to work outside with, some of the equipment doesn't move easily in the snow. So
yeah. Well, it's going to get colder the next few days. I mean, that polar vortex is coming.
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to work to the north in Canada and Alaska, so
you're used to that.
Yeah, we've seen worse.
John, let me ask you this. When was the last time you went sledding?
About 5 years ago.
You went sledding 5 years ago?
Yeah. Some of the nephews, we didn't do anything wild. We just sledded. We didn't jump over any hills or anything like that.
You weren't, you didn't pull a Clark W. Griswold and go sliding down the hill on like a metal sled that threw sparks off, right?
No, not that bad. Though a couple of the nephews take some of the air mattresses from the pool.
Yeah.
And they'll take them. They'll use those, inner tubes, anything they'll slide on snow.
Right.
Try it.
Yeah. My son had an inner tube like that, and I remember going down a hill, and then we actually caught a little air and landed, and that was the end of the inner tube. Unfortunately.
There at Moraine Farm, there's a spot, and in the snow you couldn't see that there was I'm guessing it was a 5-foot drop off, and we went over the edge of that on inner tubes, and we just literally rolled in the air. It felt like it, when you realize what's happening, it goes to slow motion, and I'm thinking this is going to hurt. We, believe it or not, hit at such a nice angle. We just hit sliding, but I made sure we didn't go over that edge again.
Yeah. You were saved a trip to the ER, John. Thanks for your call, buddy. I appreciate it. 937-457-1290. All right. So, we do this on the show. We have people guess how many cars are going to crash into buildings in the Dayton area, Miami Valley area, throughout the year. And we've done this now for a couple of years. And last year, it was about this time, I think, we started taking guesses for 2024. Now, we're not going to do that tonight, but we're going to get to that later this week, where you'll be able to call in and make a guess on how many cars you think are going to crash into buildings this year. So looking over our list, we had 131 cars that have crashed. Oh, yeah. Okay. I hit the wrong sound effect, but it kind of worked. We had 131 cars that crashed into Miami Valley area buildings. And the winner is going to receive a beautiful, and I posted this, I think I posted this on my Facebook over the holiday, a beautiful shadow box. I wouldn't call it a trophy. It's more like a, what were those things called you used to make in school? Like kids would put in a shoebox. You know what I'm talking about? Like they make a little scene inside of a shoebox. I remember doing that a bunch of times in busy work school. You know, that's like one of those busy work things. What are those called again? Does anybody know? Parker, do you know? Ron, do you know? Nobody? I know I keep wanting to say nativity, but I know that's not it. But anyway, my buddy Tim DeBusk, he's the paranormal hunter, and he's also a diorama. Thank you. Somebody said panorama. Diorama. It's one of those two. But he made this amazing shadow box scene of a car hitting something that is going to be awarded to Mary, and not my Mary, but Mary from Vandalia. Now, when I do this, I don't get people's last names. I just, my hope is that they still listen to the show, that they're anxious to know if they were the winner or not. So Mary from Vandalia, and it says here on the list, and I don't remember, I should have made some sort of notation, but it says Mary from Vandalia Bama. So I don't know if Mary has some connection to like Alabama. I don't know, but that's what's on the list. Mary Vandalia Bama. So Mary from Vandalia, if you guessed 131, you are the winner. Now we just have to hope that Mary calls to claim her beautiful award. I mean, it's pretty cool. And Tim is making me one as well, so I can have one for my studio. That's kind of cool. So congratulations. We are going to do this again. I thought about it over the holidays. I'm sort of like, is that kind of passe? We just kind of, people love it. People love it. They were already asking me over the Christmas break, how many cars crashed. When are we going to start guessing again? I want to get my guess in early. I mean, it's sort of become it's just part of the show. So I guess we kind of have to do it. So we'll do that a little bit later this week. We have a Dumb Ways to Die.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
And by the way, we have not had officially any cars into buildings in the Miami Valley area for 2025. However, a few days ago, I got a text message from one of our producers, Ian, who said that a Edgehead called the show and said that he may have the first car into a building story. And he gave me his name and number, and it's in Clifton. And I just haven't had a chance to reach out to him, but we may have one. If we have photos and details, we got it. Here's our Dumb Ways to Die. And of course, we're not making fun of these people and their untimely demise. We are merely sharing their story as a cautionary tale for you when you're out and about running around in the wild. And in this case, point on. You're not, screwing around because death could be waiting for you around any corner. Two men in, Skamania County, Washington State, died over the holiday when they went hiking, and apparently, according to their family, they were actually searching for Sasquatch. Do we have, I think we have a sound effect somewhere, don't we? I don't know where to go. Oh, here we go. The men ages 59 and 37 were found in a heavily wooded area of the Gifford Pinchot National Forest. After a 3-day search, rescue workers used all kinds of canine teams, drones, ground crews, even the Coast Guard, I guess, searched and helped. I don't know why the Coast Guard would be involved, but anyway, they found these two guys. They went hiking, searching for Sasquatch. Their family reported them missing on December 25th after they failed to show up the day before. Boy, there's a Christmas you don't want to remember. Holy cow. Crews faced all kinds of challenges: bad weather, freezing temperatures, heavy rain, and snow. And the men were ultimately found dead, with initial reports indicating exposure to the elements. Officials noted that the difficult terrain and weather conditions, combined with the men being ill-prepared, as contributing factors to the event. So they weren't prepared. Like, they went into the woods looking for Sasquatch, and they weren't prepared. You got to be prepared. There's all kinds of videos you can watch online on how to prepare yourself for hunting for Sasquatch. Seems like a no-brainer. So if you decide to go searching for Squatch, make sure you're prepared.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up, pump.
T-O-double-L-S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny.
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
On WHIO.
Snowflakes the size of Cheez-Its. Lana, we had totals anywhere from 3 inches to 10 inches. It is. Cheez-It is a popular word anywhere. Thank you, Lana. I did. I had a nice break. I did absolutely nothing. And that is 100% the truth. Other than like holiday stuff, you know, my family came over Christmas Eve. Mary's family came over Christmas Day. I had actually talked to some people about doing some stuff. But I just didn't feel like leaving the house. Josh, which post? Oh, about Tim? Tim invented it. Yeah, Tim invented it at the villa. He invented the Cheez-It pizza. Yeah, I don't like dealing with the airports ever. I've got some friends who are trying to twist my arm into going on a cruise with them and their spouses, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I guess I'm just lame.
1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
From a psychological standpoint, the radio station represents a link to normalcy.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Talking to folks about the snowfall, how much snow maybe you got in your neighborhood. And I haven't gotten an answer on a couple of questions. One, do you have kids coming to your door asking to shovel your driveway for cash? Because I'm convinced that kids just don't do that anymore. And I don't know if it's the kids or the parents. They don't want to send their kids out in the cold. It's so cold. Or just knock it on strangers' doors. Or physically they'd be able to do it. Probably not. Many of them. And also, the best sledding spots, we talked to somebody. They were sledding at the Mound. We know people who are sledding at Hawthorne Hill and Oakwood. But the question is, do they still have people sledding, or do they let people sled there at Suicide Hill? And I think that's in Kettering. It's a Hills and Dales area. And that used to be the place to go back in the day. When I was growing up, you'd hear about that. Oh, are you going to Suicide Hill? I know somebody who broke their arm there. But I just don't know if they allow that anymore. Because we were talking to Ron Otto earlier, and apparently the metro parks are all closed, including sledding hills. Lame.
What am I listening to now? What is this?
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
It's a radio show. It's entertainment.
Fill it up. T-O-double-D-H. Oh, double L.
S-T. I can remember that.
Locally grown, seriously funny
I'm puzzled by the whole thing.
on WHIO.
All right.
Don't hesitate to call.
You call me.
You better call me.
Damn it, get me a phone. Call me on my radio.
I'm gonna call you.
You got him on the radio?
You won't make a simple phone call?
What is wrong with you?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Late last year, we started Wing It Wednesday here on the Evening Edge. This is an opportunity for local nonprofits. You could be a service organization. You could be, well, really anything. I mean, anything that's nonprofit related. I want to hear about it. And you could come in on the show on a particular Wednesday and you just wing it for like 20 minutes. Telling everybody about your mission, your events that are coming up. You know, like if you've got a a group that is having a big event that's coming up. People do have events in the wintertime. You could come on the show and for 20 minutes, you just chat about your mission, your event, the whole deal. And all it costs you is a order of chicken wings from your favorite wing place. Now, those wings are for me. You bring them in, you present them to me, and then we talk for 20 minutes about your group. So if you'd like to get in on Wing It Wednesday, send me an email, eveningedgetodd@gmail.com. You can find more about this on my Facebook page. Just look for the logo. It's my face on a plate of chicken wings. You can't miss it. But all the details are there. That's Wing It Wednesday. It's a simple thing to do. 937-457-1290. Parker, I got a question for you. You know who's really enjoying the snow today besides the sledders?
Who's that?
It's the skiers.
Oh, yeah?
The snow skiers.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, have you ever gone snow skiing before?
I have not.
No. Is it something you'd want to try?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Really?
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, I grew up in Beaver Creek. I've mentioned that before, but we get new listeners all the time. They don't know me from Adam. My buddies and I, we used to go. Well, they were the skiers. I was more of the sledder. I was not. I just wasn't. That just wasn't something that I was excited about trying. Was skiing. In fact, my sister went skiing and she tore up her knee doing that. So I was like, this is not something that I think I should probably be doing. But we finally twisted my arm to give it a try. And there used to be a ski hill in Bellbrook. It's like Bellbrook, Sugar Creek area, Sugar Creek ski hills. I forget what it is now. The lodge is still there, but I think it's maybe I don't know if it's a service facility for Sugar Creek or I don't know, but you can still obviously see the hill, right? And they finally got me to go skiing. Now, the guys that I went skiing with, they were really good skiers. I mean, these guys had been skiing. First of all, they were in the high school ski club. They've been skiing to Colorado and, all over the place, Utah. They were big time skiers. Me, again, not a skier. They had their own skis. They were nice skis. They were the kind I'm sure you've seen because you're a sports guy. You got your big ski boots and you just step right into the skis. Yep. You got your poles, you hop on the lift and you go up and you do your thing. Well, I didn't have my own skis and my parents certainly were not going to buy me, $500 skis, having never done it before. So I thought, well, we'll give it a try. So we go and I rent the skis there. Now, if anybody remembers this, and I don't know if this is still the case at Mad River Mountain, the place in Sugar Creek, like I said, long gone. The skis that you rented were probably from, I don't know, the 1930s. They were old. They were not great. And they were attached to your boot. You'd step in them, but they were strapped to your boot. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. If you're learning to ski and you fall down, you don't want the ski to go, flying down the hill. You got to keep it close, right? Now, the good skis have brakes on them. Like if your foot pops out, the little thing pops down, and usually that is enough to stop your ski from going down the hill. These rental skis were not that way. So you had this cord of death is really what it was. Because if you fell and your skis came off, you were rolling and spinning and falling down the hill, and those skis are still attached to you, clunking you on the head.
Yeah.
Well, I get there and I take the class. There's a beginner's class. So I take this class and it's like 45 minutes. I'm learning how to snowplow. And that's how you stop. I'm learning how to plant the pole and go around the pole. These little things. But I have to tell you, after about an hour of that, I was done. I was like, okay, well, I've learned how to ski. And I'm going to stick to the bunny hill, which is the little kids hill, right?
Yeah.
But at that point, I was a high school, junior, senior, whatever it was. So I'm out there with a bunch of like 4 and 5 year olds who can really ski, and they're in the class, and I'm not that, So, but I'm thinking this is my time's done. I'm going to go take the skis back. My friends are like, no. You got to go up. You got to go up. You got to go up the hill. Now they had 2 hills. There was quad 1 and quad 2. Quad 1 was kind of a very basic hill, very, very wide, very long and sloping. And quad 2 was more, I would say, more expert. It was a little steeper, had some jumps on it. So my friends convinced me. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Let's just go up quad 1. So we're going up quad 1. And first of all, I knew that this was going to end badly. I knew this. So imagine this. And you've seen the videos like on TikTok. I saw, this is kind of what made me think of it. I saw a video on TikTok of 2 people trying to get off the lift and it not going well. I have a similar story, not just getting off the lift, but going on the lift. And I'm trying to get on the lift. And the first thing I do is I don't sit down when I'm supposed to, and it knocks me down. The lift chair knocks me down. So they have to stop the lift, which is embarrassing, right? You're in high school. There's pretty girls out there, little snow bunnies, and it's embarrassing. Well, they stopped the lift. I managed to stand back up, get my ski back on, and, they basically set me there on the lift. Then I start going up. Now, that part is easy. Sitting on your butt, floating in the air, that's the easy part. So we get to the top, and if you've never been skiing before and you've never been on a ski lift, the one thing that will save your life that they ought to tell you, and they didn't to me, was then when you get to the top of that lift and you're ready to ski off, stand up and ski off the hill from the lift landing, you got to put your tips up. You got to put the tips of your ski up. They didn't tell me that. So quite literally, the tips of my skis went into the side of the hill, which then catapulted me forward onto my stomach, onto my face. That was the second time they had to stop the lift because of me. And at this point, this is when the skis come off. And I'm trying to walk and get out of the way while I'm dragging along these 2, skis that are tied to my boots. It was a nightmare. So finally, I get out of the way. They start the lift again. I got my skis back on. And at this point, I'm like, I'm just going to walk. I'm just going to walk home or walk down the hill. I said, can I take the lift down? They're like, no, you can't ride down the lift. You can only ride up the lift, which I think was crazy. But you couldn't do that. So I'm like, well, what am I going to do? I guess I'm just going to have to walk down this giant hill in these big clunky boots, carrying my skis over my shoulder. Well, that wasn't going to fly. So we get to the top of the hill. My friends are like, come on, you can do this. You can do this. Cajoling me on. And at that point, a ski advisor or ski instructor, or whoever, ski patrol, I think is really what it was. They swoop up next to me, and it's this old guy and his teenage daughter. They're both wearing like ski patrol jackets. So you can tell, yes, they're experts. Well, they're asking me, how you doing? Are you okay? Do you need any help? I'm like, yeah, I need to figure out how to get down without breaking my neck. So he pushes me back from the tip of the edge of the hill. After, by the way, I dropped one of my poles. That slid down the hill. He pushes me back from the top of the hill and he stands in front of me, spread eagle, and he says, put your skis inside of mine. So like he's got his skis on the outside and my skis are on the inside. And he says, bear hug me. So I'm holding on to this guy for dear life. And I'm thinking, okay, he's just going to take me down the side, kind of out of the way, out of harm's way. Quite honestly, out of the view of everyone else, because this is very embarrassing. And it's embarrassing to my friends that their lame friend can't do this. But no, he doesn't do that. He basically takes me down the hill as though I was skiing, because I guess he wanted me to have the experience. And as I was holding on for dear life, and I was kind of had my head turned, I'm watching the people going up the lift. They're on the lift, sitting in the chairs. And I know I'm not making this up. They were pointing. They were pointing their poles at me, laughing at the spectacle. Now, you would think that would be the end of the story. But it wasn't. After that night, I got off the hill. I took my skis back and I said, I'm done. I'm done. Well, a year later, I'd been thinking about it and brewing about this for just, this has been stirred up in my mind. I could do this. I could do this. So I went there on my own, not with my friends, on my own. And I put my mind to it and I did it. And I made it up the hill, up the lift without crashing into the side of the mountain with my tips, and down the ski hill. And in fact, I went skiing probably 5 or 6 times that winter at Sugar Creek. And I finally made it to Quad 2. And I conquered it. But that was the last time I ever went skiing. Yeah, it's just it's
too much pressure.
Yeah, it would be a dumb ways to die, and I would end up on the show.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Crazy. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate that. Thank you. I don't know that I've ever told that story before on the air. Not on this show. I've got some good stories. Crazy stories like that, but I don't know if I've ever told that one. Well, you know what's interesting, Lana? I had never gone ice skating. I never ice skated. Let me back up. I started ice skating or went ice skating the first time when I was in 5th or 6th grade. One of my teachers was a ice skating an ice skating teacher at Kettering Rec Center, which is here in, the Dayton area. Because Lana, I know you're in Jersey. And she invited her class out to ice skate. And I had a huge crush on this teacher. She was like one of those young teachers. Like she had just gotten out of college. She was teaching 6th grade. She was probably like 23, 24. She still had braces, you know, I mean, just super cute. Miss Walters was her name. And she invited us out to skate. And that was another one of those instances where I went with the class and I tried doing it and I didn't have much success. But I kept going back. And finally, I didn't get good at it in the sense that, oh, I can really ice skate, but I could ice skate. And in fact, I had a friend who lived around the corner from me who was a hockey player. And I wanted to play hockey so bad, but it was so expensive. And my parents were like, nope, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. Too much money. So I just stuck to wearing figure skates. I really just wanted a pair of hockey skates because I thought they were so cool looking, and you know, I wanted to go fast, and I wanted you know. Oh, you want a story where someone else, where I win at someone else's expense? Well, there are a few of those, but some of them are not super nice, you know? Okay, Nick, I'll think of a Todd is the hero story.
WHIO-FM.
Woman faces charges now for a shooting on New Year's Day. We'll have that for you at 6. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 at 95.7 WHIO.
And now for our devoted listeners, back to the show.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
We have a Florida woman story.
She's totally crazy. She ain't no lady. Meth grin, smells of gin. She's really wild, yeah, doing it trailer style. She'll pull a razor, carries a taser.
Yeah, I think trailer style really is sort of a style, right? Own decor.
She's a Florida woman.
Walmart should have its own department for that, right? Yeah. This is a crazy story. This happened over the holidays. And again, this is my first show back, so I haven't had a chance to talk about it. Cops in Florida arrested a woman after she allegedly stabbed another woman more than a dozen times, and cops think the stabbing could be over the tip the victim gave to a delivery person of a pizza and wings order. So here's the story. This woman, she ordered pizza and wings. She and her daughter and a boyfriend were staying at a hotel. The delivery driver shows up with the food. The customer hands her $50. The bill was $33.10. The delivery driver starts to walk away with all the change. That's a big tip. That's a pretty good tip, you know? But the customer's like, oh, no, wait. That's that's too much. I'm not tipping you all that. So she goes to try to find the correct change, and she does, and then she ends up giving the driver a $2 tip. You thought that was the end of it? Well, no. This woman comes back an hour later, this time with an accomplice. Apparently, they bust through the hotel room, and they rifle through the victim's purse looking for the extra loot. And when you do the math, and I'm not good at it, but that's only like $16.90. That's what she went back for. But during the altercation, this customer, mom, is stabbed a dozen times over the change. It's crazy. The two assailants ran off, but cops used security footage to nab the attackers. One of them, of course, the delivery driver, a Florida woman. She's the one who did all the stabbing.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I'm going to fire the offensive line coach. Yep, 3 hours tonight. Dennis, that is the question of the night. That's funny. That that got an honest to goodness genuine chortle.
On it.
This is a WHIO payroll payout alert.
Thank you, thank you.
$1,000 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Can I turn on your radio?
Yes, already.
It's almost showtime.
Who's your favorite talk radio personality?
That's Todd.
He's weird.
Monday through Friday.
He's strange. 5 to 7. Sloppy.
I mean, he sounds perfect.
He's dreamy.
What do you say? Let's get it going.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me now, 937-457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
What do you think of all that snow?
I like to match snow. It gives me a tremendous sense of satisfaction.
At high altitudes, it's going to crystallize and give us what we call snow.
Snow.
That's the snow. Probably be some accumulation.
Go play in the snow.
You plow snow.
Shoveling snow, huh?
Going to snow tonight for sure.
It is the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up and rolling on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. If you're just tuning in for the first time this year, Happy New Year. Our first show back, and actually we went on today at 4 o'clock because of all the snow. Snow, snow, snow. And Dennis on the live stream asked, how long would you stay on if we had a volcano? That's a good question. Just 3 hours. 3 hours. That's the most I can do. 3 hours. 937-457-1290. We're talking to folks about the snow. How much snow did you get in your neighborhood? Are the kids coming around and asking to shovel the snow for extra money? So far, nobody's called in to say that's happening, and I believe it. I don't think it's happening. Kids today are not interested in that. They're not. I would say most aren't. Kids back in my day, yeah, we were. We went out and we tried to raise some money, make some money, shoveling snow. But it doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. It's too bad. We've got Taylor Robertson from News Center 7. Hey, Taylor.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing well. So you called in earlier and you gave us a great report. You were out in Xenia.
Yes,
and
on my way back now.
Okay, so you're on your way back to the station and you're on the highway.
Yes, we're on US 35 West.
Mhm.
And I just have to say, I mean, it feels like a completely different road. Obviously, I don't want to say that with too much confidence because I don't want people going out there and just going back and driving at normal speeds because there still is that slush. Obviously, the snow is just pushed to the sides of the roads right now.
Yeah.
The roads are wet. We are driving at a much faster pace than what we have been since 2:00 yesterday, but we're still taking it easy.
Yeah.
The on-ramps are still a little bit sketchy. But I will say, like, the main roads on US 35, it's pretty much fine. It seems like everybody's moving at a normal pace.
Right. Well, if it's wet, though, I mean, it could start freezing very soon because I think I saw the temperatures just flashed up on our TV monitor here, and I think they were in the mid-20s. So that's going to start freezing, and it's going to be called black ice.
Oh, yeah. You feel it outside, too. It's already colder than it was yesterday, and the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to Austin Chaney and Nick Dunn over on the TV side. They've been talking about that refreeze, the possibility of it overnight. So definitely something to keep in mind if you are kind of like a lot of us who are coming home from work at like maybe midnight, or if you're one of those people that's driving to work really early in the morning, definitely keep that in mind.
Now, what's the craziest thing you've seen today from somebody in a vehicle? Because when I was coming in, I mentioned to you earlier that I live near 35, and when I was coming in, I looked to see what the traffic looked like on 35, and I honestly couldn't see any. And I was thinking, well, that's either means there's no problem, or nobody's really working today because they were told not to come in, or there's a problem and they don't want people on the highway. So I decided to stick to the surface streets, as we call them. And I was behind some idiot in a pickup truck who was fishtailing all the way down Woodman Drive from the corner of Linden all the way down to that UDF that's there on Woodman, sort of Kettering, Dayton area. And I'm telling you, he was doing it on purpose. He was 100% doing it on purpose. He was having a good old time. And I was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't understand that.
Hey, we had something kind of similar. We were downtown Xenia. There was a grocery store kind of shopping outlet parking lot that was just full of snow. But there was one plow that was there actively trying to get the snow off. But then here comes a pickup truck that is doing donuts, and some person outside of the car, taking video of the truck doing donuts.
Yeah.
And you look over like maybe 20 feet though, and there's a plow trying to clear off the road.
They were hooning. Hooning in the snow. I don't understand that. I mean, I would never ever do that or condone that, but at least you're in a parking lot. This idiot was out on Woodman Drive with traffic not only behind him, but traffic next to him and traffic coming at him. So it's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. Are you a snow skier?
I snowboard here and there. Me and my photographer Paige were actually talking about that earlier. She's a skier and she's just getting into snowboarding. I'm very beginner snowboarding, but that was my thing. I was more of a sledder growing up. My parents didn't really take me out snowboarding or skiing. I was so jealous of Xavier today that basically got to got to just sled all day at work.
Yeah. I saw that, and I was hoping that he was going to call the show, but he hasn't called yet, so I don't know what the story is. But I would like to talk to him about his sledding exploits.
Oh, geez, he's out there, feeling like a kid again.
Yeah, I get it. All right, Taylor. Well, I appreciate you calling the show, and please, of course, call anytime. It doesn't have to just be, a winter storm or bad weather or anything like that. Whatever you want to talk about, I'd be happy to have you on the show.
Awesome. I'll keep that in mind.
All right, Taylor. Thank you. Be safe out there. There you go.
Will do.
Taylor Robertson from News Center 7. I was talking to Ron about this story earlier. This story came out maybe a day or so, and I would love to get more details on this. Did anybody see the story about the guy that had to be rescued from a train car up in the Inglewood area? Here's the story. A person was hospitalized after they got stuck inside a train car and suffered from cold exposure. I guess that's frostbite. Huh? Maybe. Cold exposure. News Center 7 reported that medics with the Vandalia, there you go, Vandalia Fire Department responded to the 2000 block of East National Road near the tracks in the Metro Parks on a cold exposure call early Sunday morning. So when they got there, they found out that there was a guy stuck inside one of the train cars. Crews were told that the person had been traveling from Kentucky in one of the train cars and got stuck and was suffering from cold exposure. But a train spokesman, CSX transportation spokesperson, told News Center 7 that they received reports of a trespasser standing on top of a train in Vandalia around 3:20 a.m. So was this there's some questions about this, because one, I didn't know that people still rode the rails. Because that's what this is. And I made this comparison earlier in the show. This reminds me of the character in Polar Express. Remember when the kid, if you've seen the movie, the kid climbs out of the car and climbs on top of the train, and he meets the I guess hobo. Is that allowed? Is hobo allowed?
Well, he's a ghost.
Well, I understand that, but is the term hobo allowed? Are we allowed? Is it politically correct? Is hobo still a thing? Is that anti-hobo using the term hobo? I'm not sure. But I saw this. I didn't know that people still did that they were still riding the rails. Because I remember hearing stories about this when I was growing up, because my grandpa Hollst, in his earlier days, his earlier years, probably late teens, early 20s, maybe mid 20s, he did that. He rode the rails, and he grew up in Chicago, and he would take because there was, that was what port is that? What is that? What do they call that? Porkopolis, or is that Cincinnati? What am I thinking? They had in Chicago, they had all of the cattle, all the roundhouses and the slaughterhouses in Chicago. So there'd be a lot of trains that would come in there, bring the cattle to the big city, and then the trains would leave. He would ride the rails. He'd be one of many guys that would jump into a train car and travel the northwest part of the United States. And he used to tell me stories about this. And I thought that was really interesting. And then there's, you see movies like that where there's people who are riding the rails. But I was really surprised. I don't know why I would have thought that it would have ended, but it makes you wonder when you see train cars going down the track, if you're stuck at a crossing, just wonder, is somebody in there hanging out inside the train? Is there a hobo there riding the rails? If you got any thoughts on that, 937-457-1290.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, a hero.
Oh, he's a keeper.
It's fun listening. It's a good ride, but there's never any real danger.
Give it some time, man. You'll realize. You'll see. He'll grow on you.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
I just didn't. I know that's still a word, but I just didn't know if that was the terminology used to describe somebody who does that. You know? Hey, did you see that hobo? I think that the PC term now is rail rider. No, I don't know. There's the question. What would the political correct term be for somebody who rides the rails? A trespasser. Rail rider? It does, doesn't it? That could be taken the wrong way. Oh, Boxcar Willie. There you go. A locosexual. There you go. Train hopper. I like that one. Nick, I like that one. Oh, that's good. That is good. Undocumented passenger. Oh, that's good. That's quality. Stowaway. That's a good one. I always think of a stowaway as like somebody on a boat or a ship or a boat or a plane. But I guess it could also be, somebody on a train, a stowaway.
On a body found in Dayton Sunday. We'll have latest at 6:30. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
You ain't gonna want to miss this.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. So the conversation that has erupted on the live stream, by the way, which is on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I asked the question, what is the political correct term for hobo? And can you still use that to describe somebody, a hobo? We had the story of this guy in Vandalia who had to be rescued from inside of a train car, which he was riding from Kentucky to where, who knows? I don't know if he was coming here, or if he was going somewhere else. But, that's a hobo. Somebody who sneaks onto a train and rides in a boxcar. I remember Boxcar Willie. My grandpa used to do that. I told the story. So the suggestions that people are coming up with are quite spectacular. Brenda mentions just an undocumented passenger. Okay. Captain Scurvy, I like this one. A loco sexual. That's a good one. Lana says train hopper. Nick says temporarily without housing individual traveler. And that's TWIT for short. TWHIT. I like that. That's a good one. A twit. But I don't know. I don't know what you would if you can even use that term anymore. Maybe not. We got some mail.
Pack off the jaw jacket. It's time for mail call.
Master, I have mail for you.
The fan man.
Oh, I'm a big fan of yours.
The mail is here.
Your hate mailbox is full.
If you'd like to send me an email, eveningedgetodd@gmail.com. Hey, Todd, when did the weather people start naming winter storms? I heard on the TV this storm is named Blair. I thought we only named hurricanes and typhoons. Blair is a dumb name for a storm. Love your show, Andrea in Kettering. Well, thank you, Andrea. I remember talking about this a year or two ago. Well, I forget what the storm was, but it's a Weather Channel thing. They started doing this because if there's anybody who loves to sensationalize the weather, it's Jim Cantori and his friends. And I guess this started maybe back, I don't know, like 2016, something like that, 2015. I'd never noticed it until a year or so ago. And I just don't know that people are going to remember these storms by their name the same way people remember hurricanes. If I say Hurricane Andrew, you remember that. If you were alive during that time, right? Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Sandy, or maybe it was this tropical storm Sandy. I can't remember. But, we remember them. We remember those storms because of all the devastation, and especially in this media world, all the video. I don't know if you look out the window and you see the snow in your driveway or your front yard that looks any different than the snow that they have somewhere else. It doesn't. You remember specific things about hurricanes and other parts of the world, typhoons. But they've actually come up with, looks like A to Z, all these names. And we're only on Blair. That's what hit us today. We got Cora, Demi, Enzo, Freya, Garnet, Harlow, Ilana. Is that right? Liana, Jet, Winter Storm Jet, Kingston, Lola, Marisol, Nyla, Omari, Pascal, Quentin, Roman, Spencer, Theo, Usman, Vincenzo, if we make it to V, Wilhelm, Zia, Xia, is that right? Zia? That sounds like a porn star. And then there's this one, and I don't know how to pronounce this. Maybe somebody does. It's capital Y, Genny. Jenny? Is that it? Jenny? Is that a name? That can't be right. Jenny? That's weird. And then the last one, Zahir. If we make it to Z with winter storms, it's going to be snowing until June.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Live from the WHIO News.
Jenny might be the name of a male enhancement drug. Josh, we haven't had any officially this year. And we had 131 for the year, and I mentioned the winner's name earlier. It was Mary from Vandalia. Well, here's why. Here's why I want people to call in. And we're going to do it later this week. I'm going to explain it here in a minute. But just as an aside, I don't want to be responsible for trying to sort through all the emails or messages and trying to figure out who guessed which number first. So I just have a list. It's right here, already ready to go. And it's just a blank list through 200. And I just write a name down and where they're from, and that's it. And it's incumbent on whoever the winner was to contact me and say, hey, that's me. And I'm going to mention that right here.
AM.
Don't give me that politics, Jazz. It's not my racket.
People are tired of hearing nothing but doom and despair on the radio.
Everyone just relax, all right?
The problems of the world are not in my department.
Now who'd like a cookie?
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call me at 457-1290.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Live stream is up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Well, I mentioned this a little earlier, and I'm going to mention it again. We had 131 incidents of cars into buildings throughout the Dayton and Miami Valley area in 2024. Now, you might recall, we had people take guesses on their prediction for 2024 back in January, a year ago. We're going to do that again, not tonight, probably later this week, maybe Thursday or Friday. The winner from last year, and here's the thing, when you call in, when people call in to do this, I just get their name and where they're from. And it's incumbent on the Edgehead who made that guess to remember their number, remember what they guessed, and then, at the end of the year, say, yep, that was me. I guessed that number. The person who guessed 131 for last year, her name is Mary. She's from Vandalia. And on my list, and people on the live stream can see this, there's the list. It says Mary, right there, Mary Vandalia -Bama. And I don't know why it says -Bama, but maybe that was a way to sort of differentiate her with other Marys. I don't know. But she won. And she's going to win a really cool shadow box. I guess you can call it a trophy. It's more of a diorama. We discovered that last hour. It's more of a diorama that my friend Tim put together. It's in a shadow box, and there's a car. Looks like it hits a wall, and there's great background, and he's really good, very talented, that sort of thing. He made the one last year, and he's doing this every year, and it's very appreciated. So Mary's going to win that. So here's the total for this for last year was 131. That is not a new record. It is second on the list. The year prior, 2023, was the record, 157 for the year. So we didn't come super, super close, but close enough. So probably beginning on Thursday, I'm going to let people start making their guesses for 2025. As of right now, we don't have anything official on the docket as far as cars into buildings. I did get a message from somebody saying that they may have the first one from 2025 in Clifton Or not Clifton. Was it Clifton? Where was it? Hang on. Let me look real quick. Let me look on my text real quick. Yeah, Clifton. Somebody named Patrick called the station while I was on vacation and said that he may have the first one. I haven't talked to Patrick yet. But if we have confirmation, we have a photo, any details, that could be number one. And this year, I'm just going to let people guess up to 200. 0 to 200. That's it. And if we get, and let's hope this isn't the case. If we get to late next year and we have hit 200, we're either going to just fold the whole thing because it just means that people are intentionally trying to do this to get on the show and hit buildings, or we'll have people guess, anything over 200. But I'm putting my foot down at 200 for this year. But we'll go over the rules, the guidelines, the whole deal later this week when we start making our guesses. We have some food news.
Hey, I'm kind of hungry. Who's got the food?
Well, what's your favorite food?
Don't flavors your food.
This is a lot of food.
Isn't it glorious?
How you get so big that you own of this kind? It is so scrumptious.
I love talking about food because it's the one thing we can all sort of agree on. We all love a good meal. We all love a good snack. We may not agree on politics or religion or sports teams or, all kinds of things that divide us in this world. But food, we can all agree. We all like a good meal. I saw this story on WHIO.com. Some people, I guess, have noticed that Chick-fil-A has changed the ingredients on their waffle fries. Has anybody noticed this? I don't know when the change took place, but restaurant officials, they've confirmed that they've tweaked the recipe for their Chick-fil-A waffle fries, which I love their waffle fries, but they've got to be crispy. And that's my biggest complaint with all French fries. If you go get French fries, they got to be crispy. If they're flimsy or soggy or not hot, they're the worst. That's like the one food that if it's not done the right way, it's just, who cares? Chick-fil-A officials said the slight adjustment helps the fries stay crispier for longer. Well, there you go. They also say that, let's see. Oh, the new coating contains pea starch. The new recipe does not include any of the 9 major allergens, but it does contain pea starch. Pea starch. Yummy. Customers have expressed mixed reaction to the change on social media, with the majority demanding that the original taste, the original fries come back. But we'll see. Probably not. But yeah, if it helps it stay crispier for longer, awesome. I'm all for that. Parker, do you remember, I don't know if you were, maybe you were, I don't know that you were around for this, but it did make a comeback for a short time. JOLT Cola.
Nope.
You don't remember JOLT?
Not familiar.
Oh, man. JOLT got all kinds of crazy attention back in the 80s. And it was like super caffeinated pop or soda.
There was one that came back a few years ago that I do remember.
Well, JOLT came back, and here it is. In 2009, the brand's company filed for bankruptcy, but JOLT Cola briefly resurfaced on shelves at Dollar General in 2017 before the chain stopped selling it in 2019. So maybe that's when you saw it.
I didn't see that. I saw a different cola that's since disappeared again.
Okay. You don't remember what that one was?
Tab.
Oh, Tab. Yeah, that was very popular.
Came back a few years ago, and then you can't find it now again.
Yeah, that was very popular when I was growing up. That was like the first. I think that might have been the first diet soda. There might have been something before it, but that's what everybody had. Can I get a Tab? Can I get a Tab? And it was in a pink I think like a pink can. There wasn't the, if I recall, it was like pink and a pink can maybe with yellow logo. I can't remember, but it was like a, I'm sure it was like a pink can, but they stopped making it because the ingredient that made it diet was saccharin. And at the time, there were all these studies that said, oh, saccharin causes cancer in mice. I don't know if it did, but Tab kind of lost favor. And that's when Diet Coke and Diet Pepsi came along. But anyway, Jolt Cola is making a comeback. And this time it's promising more than twice the original caffeine content. Wow. That'll keep you up for days. I was up early this morning and because of the snow, and I was listening to Miami Valley's morning news, and I heard Larry mention this briefly about new flavors for 2025 from Oreos. Oreos released 6 new flavors for this year, including Toffee Crunch, Java Chip, not chimp. With all the monkey news we've had, maybe so. It's mixture of coffee and chimpanzee. Java Chimp. Mint birthday cake, chocolate, dark chocolate, peanut butter, and lemon. Well, some of these I thought were already out. 6 new cookie flavors. Birthday cake has been out. Hasn't that been out? I've seen that. Birthday cake Oreos. Dark chocolate, definitely. Peanut butter, at some point they had to do peanut butter. Didn't they? Peanut butter Oreo. See, I found a list, and I didn't know this. There are over 80 different flavors of Oreos. Over 80. Now, I don't know if they still make them all, but there's a list online of like all of the Oreo flavors that they've ever made. And the top 20, according to Delish.com, and this is why I think, I'm not sure what this story that Larry had this morning, but number 1 on the list says birthday cake Oreo. Like that is from Delish.com. That is the top, according to the writers and the editors or whatever, that is the top Oreo flavor. So I feel like it's been around for a while. Number 2, fudge dipped Oreo Thin Bites. Number 3, Oreo Mint Thins. Number 4, Oreo Thin Bites. Number 5, chocolate Oreo Thins. The thins are in. Number 6, the churro Oreo. Number 7, the chocolate Oreo. Number 8, the peanut butter Oreo. Number 9, the fudge dip mint Oreo Thin Bites. Man, oh man, these names are too long. And then number 10, white fudge dipped Oreo Thin Bites. And I'm going to mention number 11 because I like them, red velvet Oreos. But my favorite is the golden Oreo. You just can't go wrong with a golden Oreo.
It's the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Leslie dunks her Oreos in whiskey. The Jack Daniel flavor of Oreos. Oh, I bet that's good. Dunking them in coffee. Oh, that sounds good. I love Oreos, but we just can't have them in the house ever since Mary's surgery and me trying to cut down and keep my diabetes under control. Oh, man. Sorry, Lyle. You mean Wilford? Though I do like Wilbert.
From the McAfee Heating, Air, and Plumbing Studios. Breathe easy. Choose McAfee. Call today or visit mcair.com. This is WHIO Dayton and WHIO FM Pleasant Hill. All news, all the time.
No new snow for a while, just colder temperatures. Well, latest at 7 o'clock. Now back to the Evening Edge with Todd Hollst on 1290 and 95.7 WHIO.
This is a job for Weenie Man.
The Evening Edge with Todd Hollst.
Call Todd now, 937-457-1290, or message him at Evening Edge Todd.
Locally grown, seriously funny on WHIO.
Back here on the Evening Edge, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7. Coming up after the news, Larry Hanskin is live. He's out at Frickers on Woodman Drive. You know where that is. And I bet the roads on Woodman are all plowed and pretty clean. That's the way I came in. And they seem to have a good hold of it, getting it done. It's the Flyer Insider. He's going to be live from 7 until 8 there at the Frickers in, I guess that's Dayton. Technically Dayton on Woodman, yeah. And the Flyers play, I think, Wednesday night, don't they? And that's UMass, right? Yeah. So we're only going to have an hour show that night. But the Flyers coming off their loss over the weekend. And they take on UMass this Wednesday night. But if you're out and about, running around, there's probably people out there, I'm sure. Stop by the Frickers there on Women and see Larry for the Flyer Insider coming up just after 7. Have a terrific night, and I'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget, you can get the podcast of the show at eveningedgetodd.com and all your other favorite podcast platforms, with the exception of Spotify, after they booted me. Jerks. And you can also go back and watch the live stream. It's on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Have a terrific night, and I will talk to you tomorrow right here on the Evening Edge.
Adios, cowboy.
I'm saying it's over.
I'm afraid that's all there is, my friend.
Mediocre evening.
Could have been worse.
That's it. Show's over.
Well, that was exhausting.
No more fun. No refunds.
Good night, Todd.
Have a great night, everybody. See you tomorrow. Be safe out there.